Good morning traders, I'm Luke from Discipline Trader. Today is the 18th of May and we're going to be doing some more live trading today. We are just coming up to 7:45 and you can see price has had a decent move up pre-market already, which is a little bit annoying. I was looking to trade from this band down here and I'll run you through why. If we look at yesterday's price action, we've actually been into new high territory over the last couple of days, so as a support and resistance trader, it's difficult to find levels to trade from when you're into new ground, as obviously there's no old ground to look at. But we've still got our intraday levels to use, and they worked very well yesterday, as you can see. But coming down here, you can see we had a dividend on the FTSE yesterday. Following the dividend, it sold off and actually fell below this band here, which is the band I was looking at today. Overnight price has moved up back above this band, which is perfect, and if it could have held down here until the open, I would have loved to trade this up to this band up there. However, that's not to be, which is a little bit annoying, but never mind. So looking at the higher charts on this one, if I bring over the 4 hour here, you can see we've had this fantastic run up, moving through all these bands of support and resistance into new ground. We have sort of reacted from this here, so I would be interested in another small short. Obviously we're in a massive uptrend on this market at the moment. I don't want to step in the way of that too much. As you can see, a big hourly candle just coming up now. But yeah, back down to this band I think would be interesting. A short in line with these lows here would also be interesting. Other than that, I'll just be watching price action and seeing what it's saying. We've got another band above here, another band higher. So if it goes any higher than that, I won't really have anywhere to short from. If it comes down lower, we've got obviously this band down here and a band further down, but I'm not expecting it really to come all the way down there, but you never know. So I'll keep you posted. We'll wait for the open and then we'll see if we get any setups this morning. Okay, so we're just a couple of minutes past the open and you can see this huge candle here at the moment that's still forming. And as you probably already noticed, annoyingly, it's popped up into exactly where I was looking to short, and it's falling off in double quick time. Annoyingly now, this has fallen way too far for me to get involved. I was hoping it would just give me a nice sell signal here from the open, and I would trade this after this candle had finished forming. So a little bit annoying. I've not managed to capture this trade from here to here, and again I was looking for a reaction from here back down towards this band, and I'm looking like I'm not going to be able to trade that one either, unless this sort of candle finishes and drifts back up and gives me another sell signal. It's not as clean cut as just selling from here now as it's done, but I will never just buy or sell a level. I will always look for a signal candle to give me sort of confirmation of the analysis, and I would never enter a market before the open. The testing that I've done just shows it to not be as consistent as the setups that I get when the market is open and in full flow. So we'll see. This is looking like maybe it wants to finish as a doji candle, which is fine. If it sort of meanders, gives me another strong sell signal, then I'll probably look to get involved. But we'll see how things pan out. I'll come back to you when there's more to say. Okay, so just back. As you can see, just had an order triggered there to sell short. We got the sell pin bar just here. We haven't managed to move convincingly through this intraday band of support and resistance. So what I'm looking for now is for price to move down towards this 4-hour band down here. Now this is one of those trades where you think, I can't say that I feel as confident with it as I usually do with other trades, but I've been in this situation plenty of times before. It meets all my entry criteria. There is no reason for me not to enter this trade, so I've got to enter it. If it loses, it loses. But we'll see. Like I say, the target is down here. There's nothing really glaring on the higher time frames, other than obviously the trend for the market at the moment. But we'll see. I'm not asking mountains from it. All I'm asking is just a small move down to this area here. But let's see how this gets on. I'll come back to you when there's more to say. Okay, as you can see, price has moved down from where we entered rather nicely, but we're just coming into the low of this large pin. It's actually acting as a bounce point here for price, and we've also got this level here just a little bit lower that's going to marry up with the 200 MA. Now these are both potential turning points for this trade, and it could send it right back where it came from. I will be looking to hold this through these and aim for this area just above the next band. Typically I always target the next support and resistance band unless the exit method that I use takes me out of it. So I know we're into some minor support and resistance down here, but I will be holding. So let's see what happens. Okay, so that candle's just closed. As we can see, it's closed past the low of this one. We are into sort of the high of this one and the 200. Favourably, I think the 200 is still pointing down, which is good for the trade. So it really is just this for me. Target-wise, let's have a look. I think I don't aim for exactly here. That's not saying that it's not going to get there. A little bit above. I mean, I think I'm going to aim around there. Yeah, I'm happy with that. So yeah, if price can move down to there, and we can see what happens. I mean, this band here is potentially very good for another bounce back upwards, but it was this initial bounce that I was most keen on, and unfortunately it got there before I could act on it. Now this 200, even though it's pointing down, it can still provide decent support for price here. So what we might see is price bounce a little bit, and I'm not worried. The 8 MA is moving down nicely now past our entry point. This is obviously used for our ad hoc exit method. And often what you see is price bounce at levels like this, especially when it's married up with this. So there's a little bit of confluence for this minor level here. It might bounce upwards, just take a breather and then continue moving down. Or it might bounce upwards and stop me out. We never know. Ideally, I'd just like it to flush down now and hit this take profit. But we'll see. We'll keep watching for now and see what happens. Okay, so we're getting pretty close to the take profit. This is reminiscent of I think it was a few weeks ago actually. We got very close. I don't like seeing big candles. That's not that big. And what I mean by I don't like seeing big candles, that sounds a weird thing to say, but if price action is steady, and then you see a big candle in one direction or the other, especially if it's in the direction of your target, I usually find it's quite indicative of exhaustion. This candle isn't a very good representation of that, so you can ignore what I've said for this candle. I'm happy to hold this now in anticipation of it hitting this take profit target. But it's just something to bear in mind. If you do your own back testing, I'd encourage you to check that out. Big candles that sort of close, they can close quite near their highs or near their lows and look intimidating in one price direction or another, but I often find, especially on the FTSE 100, that it's an early sign that we might be going to get a potential bounce, if not reversal. So if I see that in the vicinity of my take profit, I will sometimes take the profit at the end of that candle to save sitting through what is a potential bounce or reversal. But that is the only really situation that I would exit the trade early, unless on further analysis I felt that I'd got my take profit level wrong. We've got minor highs here and here. I'm not really worried about them, to be honest. I think this will be comfortably hitting target shortly. So yeah, I'm happy to hold. I was hoping it was going to do it while I was talking, but it is refusing to do so. So I will check back when we've got an update. Okay, so it finally got there. It was looking very reminiscent then of a couple of weeks back. I mean, we're in touching distance a couple of weeks back. If you've not seen that one, check it out. It's a frustrating watch, and as you can see now, it's coming down comfortably past there anyway. So yeah, decent trade. These are basically, with my testing, these are the ones I was trying to target. These trades that move quickly from key levels in the market where you either get the move or you don't. And of course, you're not going to identify these ones every time. Yesterday's trade, for example, I took a trade from this level up here. As you can see, the pin bar was there, and this took hours and hours and hours. And I was only targeting the pivot, and it took hours. I was sat watching this forever. So yeah, this is a nice change from yesterday. Come straight down for our level, and the job's a good one, really. So I'm going to call that a day. I think it was 20 points to the dot on that trade. So yeah, a good trade, and a nice early finish. It's not even 9. I'm going to go grab a coffee and see what other things I can get on with. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please feel free to drop a like on it. If you haven't subscribed to the channel already, please do so. There'll be loads more content like this, and if there's anything else that you'd like to see on the channel, let me know down in the comments, and I'll do my best to get it sorted. So thanks again, and I'll see you in the next video.